Good morning. Good morning to everyone. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Welcome to another day, Tuesday. God bless everybody that is watching. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice. Good morning to everybody. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for another day that He gave us, that He just gave us 2 legs, 2 arms, a heart that we can feel, and a mind that we can think, and eyes that we can see. God bless every single person that is watching and that is sharing our videos. Good morning to you, and let's discuss this because the John Bolton book is going to be released today. John Bolton book. And you guys have seen how in the week we have talked about John Bolton and the release of this book and all the conspiracy theories that he is going to throw out there in election year. Curiously, in election year, all these conspiracy theories that is going to throw out there just to, affect in a way the election year of the President of the United States of America. Amazingly, John Bolton, in the most, emphatic subject that he is persistent of is Venezuela. And yesterday's tweet of President Trump regarding Venezuela, you know that President Trump is really, viral when it comes to tweets. And the left in Central America and South America, they are saying that the John Bolton book, it's really going to affect the elections of the President of the United States. The left in Mexico, the left in Central America, and the left in South America, as we were reading last night, it's really going to affect, they're saying that the John Bolton book is really going to affect the elections of President Donald Trump. Now, let's get right into it. What is going on with the last tweet of the president? The last tweet of the president said this. As I told you guys, COVID is the greatest smokescreen that has ever been created to resolve the international problems that they are really happening, like another subject that we're going to talk about later on, that is Space Force. A war in the space is going on and nobody is putting attention to it. So that's why COVID is the greatest distraction that has ever happened, in the history of our humankind. So, last tweet of the president was this about Venezuela. He said, the only way that we can resolve things with President Maduro is that we sit down peacefully and we talk about him leaving the power. That completely contradicts every single thing that the John Bolton book is going to say. Completely contradicts every single word. Because supposedly, in the John Bolton book, they are saying that President Trump's interest is not the Venezuelan people. His interest is not even Venezuela. His only interest is to get, to be a narcissist. That's what John Bolton says. To be a narcissist, to get all the attention for him, and to ultimately get the Latino vote for B-O-T-E, to get the Latino vote for the re-election. That is what they are saying. That is what John Bolton is saying. President Trump just tweeted that he is willing to sit down peacefully with Nicolas Maduro to negotiate his exit of power of Venezuela. A lot of changes. This is huge, people. This is humongous. If President Donald Trump is considering sitting down with Nicolas Maduro, the greatest socialist in the world, that is the greatest trafficker of cocaine in the world also, if he's considering to sit down with Nicolas Maduro to arrange peacefully his exit of power of Venezuela, that is completely ending socialism in the cradle of socialism, that is Venezuela, the Foro Sao Pablo. That is unbelievable what he just tweeted. And the most incredible thing is that today, the book of John Bolton is getting released by a judge, a federal judge, I believe so. And internal affairs in the United States are immediately involved on every contradictory that is going to be against the president. Now, what is the number one thing that John Bolton is focused on? John Bolton is focused on what everything the left media has done. What the left media has done. That is destroying the image of the president of the United States. Number one. That interfering in elections. This, another one. Politicians from the right in Mexico and politicians from the right in Central America and South America are considering the John Bolton book as interference in election year. They're considering interference in election, the John Bolton book, as being released on the election year. And also the number one's most important thing, the most important thing is that talks about all of it about the, and it affects his campaign by saying ultimately a bunch of BS and a facade of lies and all this Disneyland world that he has going on. So this is the most amazing thing. John Bolton, the number one thing that he wants to point out is the Venezuela thing. Why? This is the reason why. Venezuela is about to change completely. And thanks, if the government of the United States accomplish what President Trump is saying right now, that is going to be amazing. President Trump just tweeted, I will sit down with Nicolas Maduro peacefully. I will sit down with Nicolas Maduro peacefully and discuss his exit of Venezuela. Discuss his exit of Venezuela. Sit down peacefully. I call the shots. I will sit down with you peacefully. But, you will exit the country. And this is the number one thing why I'm saying he calls the shots. The United States doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Point blank. And it's amazing how John Bolton is on the side of Nicolas Maduro. Disgusting. How John Bolton is favoring, Nicolas Maduro. And he's saying that Juan Guaido, that is the next replacement of Nicolas Maduro, he is immature. He's not capable of running the country. And that he is just like a little kid. When he's defending Nicolas Maduro, the guy that has been trafficking tons of cocaine around the world, and it has this country poor, suffering with hunger. It is amazing, this John Bolton character. It's amazing how butthurt he is of not being and working close to the administration of Trump anymore. He is so butthurt that he's creating all of these lies. But unfortunately for his day, unfortunately for him, yesterday, President Trump tweeted, I will sit down with Nicolas Maduro and talk about and talk about peacefully his exit of the country. You're not going to be the president or the dictator of Venezuela anymore, Nicolas. That's what they're trying to tell you. And it is really important that we understand what is going on behind COVID, people. Behind COVID, all of these lies are happening. COVID is the biggest smokescreen that has ever happened. COVID is the biggest smokescreen that has ever happened in humankind. All of these things are happening. Like, why nobody's putting attention? And it has a lot of things that is related to this topic. Why nobody's putting attention right now on what is going on with Iran? This is one of the most important things that why President Trump wants to take out Maduro. And it's why he's really focused right now on President of Mexico and President AMLO. This is the reason why. Why? Because between Mexico and Venezuela, Mexico, the Mexican president the other day said, if Venezuela ever needs gasoline, I will sell it to them because I got a new refinery going on. So in this international trade that is going on, between Canada, the United States, and Mexico, is going to completely affect the international trade of this TEMEC. When the president of Mexico just said, I want to be in this, I want to sell gasoline to Venezuela probably in the future. Amazing. And now Iran, for the people that are saying, this, if you don't like it, get out. Iran right now, Iran has a ship, a boat, a big boat, a big ship, every week taking food and supplies to Venezuela. And now you see Iran more intimate with Venezuela. You see Iran more close to Venezuela. Iran. This is one of the reasons why the United States government wants to be much closer to the decisions of taking out Maduro, and how countries are allying behind closed doors. They are getting together behind closed doors. Countries like the Foro Sao Paulo countries. And Mexico is in the Foro Sao Paulo. So they're about to be in this international trade where Mexico, the United States, and Canada, that is called the TEMEC, is going to be in this international trade that is really important for the world and is really important for Mexican people. And if by any chance, the United States government sees that Mexico has become an ally of Nicolás Maduro, that is eventually going to happen, it's inevitable. Both of the leaders of these countries are in the Foro Sao Paulo, and the Mexican president kisses the butt of Nicolás Maduro. And the United States government is really putting attention closely to what the Mexican president is doing. They're about to sign the international trade of the TEMEC. That is really important. It's really important. And all of these things are happening close to this international trades that it can affect enormously in the future with jobs, with taking advantage of trades, and a lot of things that it can affect the economy of the three countries. It's amazing how right now Iran, number one thing, pay attention to this, Iran is getting much closer to being involved only in Venezuela. Remember, Iran is the only one that is getting supplies of gasoline to Venezuela right now. It is the only one that is helping with food. It is the only one that is helping with all other supplies. It is the only one that is feeding Venezuela. The community of Iran has grown in Venezuela a lot. So all of this is happening. All of this behind closed doors. And nobody's putting attention to it because of the gigantic smokescreen that is COVID. It's the huge smokescreen that has ever existed in humanity. Yes, it's killing people. Yes, it is all of this that is happening. Yes. But the most important thing is that everybody's getting brainwashed to not put attention to all of these amazing topics that they are happening around the world. The war against socialism that President Donald Trump is stopping Nicolás Maduro. Now, it contradicts everything that John Bolton said on his book. Everything. John Bolton is really emphatic on his book on destroying the image of the President of the United States. That is his number one objective, to destroy the image of the President of the United States. And also to put a red flag, to put a red dot on Venezuela, and how President Trump has been so irresponsible with the topic of Venezuela. John Bolton says that President Trump, he's a narcissist, he only cares about himself, and he only cares about Venezuela because he wants to get the Latin boat. U-B-O-T, Latin boat. Which yesterday, it contradicts everything that John Bolton has said, because President Trump tweeted, "I will sit down with Nicolás Maduro." Look at this. The guy that has been moving metric tons of cocaine through his country and around the world, he is willing to sit down with him to negotiate his exit. Not to negotiate, you're going to stay, and how we're going to deal with this, Maduro, and you need to calm down, man, and you need to sit down, and you need to understand that your term is going to end. No. To negotiate his exit. To negotiate his exit. Now, believe me, a lot of things that happen that they are completely want to destroy the President of the United States. And for the people that are saying, dude, I'd rather believe John Bolton than the President Trump. Okay, I will respond to you this. Dude, whatever happened to the Russian collusion? Dude, whatever happened to Ukraine? Dude, whatever happened to your impeachment? Dude, what is going on with this pandemic? Dude, what's going on with your riots and looting? Dude, what's going on with the lies of Alexandria Ocasio? Dude, what's going on with dismantling the police of Ilhan Omar? Dude, what's going on with Rashida Tlaib coming over here to Mexico and politics about destroying, others' economy and other sovereignty of other nations? Dude, where have you been? Where are you? You rather believe the John Bolton crap? This guy, Donald Trump, just tweeted yesterday that he'd rather sit down with Nicolás Maduro to negotiate his exit. Not to negotiate him staying, to negotiate his exit. Get out. Saving the Venezuelan people and putting Juan Guaido in there. Putting Juan Guaido in there to get a new replacement to end socialism that is not working. It is working. Getting supplies by Iran, it is working. Being on the Chinese domain, it is working. China, the troublemaker of the world right now, having problems with Norway right now because they are blaming Norway because of this new infestation of COVID in Symphony and Peking. China, the country that is having problems with India, killing soldiers in the Himalayas right now. China, the one that infested Italy, the one that is having problems with Spain. China, the one that caused an international collapse of the economy because of the Wuhan virus that they knew that existed before the international adjustment trade with the United States. You're talking about that China? That communist China? The fabric of the world? The number one country that sells the cheap product, that accustomed everybody in the world to the cheap product. And when if you don't not gonna buy my cheap product, I'm gonna stop supplying you. You're talking about that? You're talking about that? That communism? That socialism? The hell out of here. Hell no. Hell no. Socialism needs to be stopped. Number one thing, socialism needs to be stopped. And I am so amazed that the president of the United States is willing to sit down with Nicolas Maduro. I am surprised. I am extremely surprised that the president of the United States is willing to sit down with him to negotiate his exit. And saving, by this, negotiating his exit, he's saving all the Venezuelan people. My God, we have repeated this for more than 3-4 times. Venezuela used to be one of the most richest countries in the world with petroleum, with minerals. And now is one of the most poor countries in the world thanks to socialism. Thanks to the Foro Sao Pablo. Thanks to that. Not thanks to great socialists. You need to understand, I like the comments of the liberals and the socialists. The ones that they just graduated from college, or the ones that they're just going into college and they are like, I'll fight for the people. The ones that believe on Marxism or Marxists. Marx, for you to understand that you don't know the meaning of socialism. Go study the meaning of socialism. My God, I'm almost 40 years old. I know the meaning of socialism. These American teenagers that they live in capitalist America with a capitalist phone, an iPhone, and a capitalist laptop, and they want to tell you what socialism is. These young Antifa little kids that they live on capitalist America, and they live on capitalist, they live on capitalist, phones and food and water, electricity, and all of this. They live on these capitalist states. And now they want to tell you about socialism, and they don't even live on a country that is turning to socialism. They don't even suffer the economy of socialists. They don't even suffer the consequences of people suffering because of socialism. These young little kids, Antifa little, activists, all these BLM activists, that they are, we are Marxists. We are for Marx. They don't even know. They don't even know what is going on in Venezuela and how a lot of people from Cuba are exiting and they're running away from communism and socialism. They don't even know nothing. They don't know nothing at all. Nothing. My country of Mexico is turning into a socialist country. Little by little. Little by little. It's turning into a socialist country. And believe me, we are looking at the greatest catastrophe in our country. If our country has been involved and it has been corrupt this whole time, all of this time has been corrupt with past presidents, this president is going to take us to the dumpster, really. Because he is allied with all the socialist agenda and globalization agenda. Globalist compacts of immigration, globalist compacts of environment, globalist compacts of education, all these globalizations. You guys talking about dismantle the police? Dismantle the United Nations, for God's sake, and prosecute George Soros. For God's sake, really. Prosecute George Soros, this evil and demonic person that is putting people in an immigration global compact, putting them to migrate, walking from, I've seen migrants walk and travel to 9 countries. 9 countries. That is a globalist compact? That is helping migrants? That is really helping people? Putting them through danger and putting them through countries that they can get kidnapped? And migrating through Mexico, the second country that is more dangerous in the world? Number 2 for child trafficking? Number 2 for killings of women? Number 1 for cartel activity? Number 5 for clandestine bearings? You're talking about that? Number 4 for human smuggling? 4 cities on the top 5 for violence and delinquents, 5 in the top 10 and 15 on the top 50, making Mexico the number 2 country in the world most dangerous. You're talking about that? George Soros is not to be prosecuted? No? My God, people. Horrible. Horrible. All these young little kids, socialist punks. All these young little kids, socialist punks. They read in a dictionary and they Google socialism, Marx. Let's read Marx and let's understand and let's go to our meetings. But they don't live in a socialist country. It's amazing. They don't live in a socialist country, but because they read a book, they know already everything. And they know the right systematical, they know the right systematical way to adjust the system, to end capitalism, that the capitalism has oppressed the people. It is because of that people have suicide and wars that happen. And if socialism would be here, everybody will be fair and the state will take care of us and we wouldn't pay anything. That's your socialist idea. The socialist mindset. Amazing. And another topic before I go, Space Wars. My God, man. And I admire the President of the United States and whoever doesn't like me because they say, oh my God, you're Mexican and you support Trump. You're a disgrace to your own race. No, I'm not. I live in Mexico. I pay taxes in Mexico. I am proudly a Mexican citizen. I love my culture. I love my people. I love my history. And I love a president that fights for his own people first. That is what everybody wishes in the world. A leader that will put their country first. Not nobody else's, their country first, and then we can supply everybody else. And this is amazing. Now, everybody was like, hey, you know what? Why Trump is creating Space Force? What the hell's going on with Space Force? And they were making jokes about it, This is not Space Wars, Trump, the left, the liberals. They were making jokes about, he's making a space military. That is funny. The problem is right here on Earth. Why you're making a Space Force, Trump? Like they were making jokes about all that stuff. And I've been telling you guys, and I will say it again for the 15 millionth time, COVID is the greatest smokescreen that has ever been created that assassinates people, but it distracts you and it controls the population. Number one, it controls the population. Everything. You are being controlled. It controls the population. I have like 15 masks right here in the car. Controls the population. This right here, it controls the population. This right here. You don't wear it, social distance, you don't go into a store, and you are marked as a person that is unhealthy if you don't wear it. And you are complicating everybody else's lives. This right here. So it's control of the population. Now, Space Force. What is going on right now in space? It's crazy. Because everybody's so focused on COVID that we don't see what is going on in Venezuela. We don't see what is going on, the ending of socialism, and probably, the fall of Nicolás Maduro because of the pressure of the President of the United States. The international war that is going on with China and the United States and China with Norway and China with Italy and China with Europe and China with India and China is all over the damn place. China is the troublemaker of the world right now. China is all over the damn place. They want to be all over the damn place. It's the new world order, the new embodiment. China wants to be on top. And they want to take the United States out of the throne, and they want to put China on top. George Soros has said it. George Soros has said China is the new model of communism. This is the new model of the world. So what's going on in space? So Russia, look at this. How amazing. This is why I admire that man. Man, I admire you. This is why Donald Trump made Space Force. It sounds like a movie, but he made Space Force because right now, Russia and China, they're trying to take over in space, the technology and the electronic technology in space, their number one purpose is to control the waves of signal and to control the internet. It's amazing. It's amazing what they're trying to do. And it's electronic warfare. It's amazing what is happening. Russia and China, they're trying to control satellites and the signal in space. It is not a joke. It is what is really happening right now. Space Force, it was made for one particular reason. China and Russia are going to be the ones that are going to implement the 5G. Not joking. It is not a joke. Go and Google it. Go and Google it. Go and research. Do your research. Do your own research. If you don't believe me, just say, oh my God, this guy is a dumbass. This guy, he doesn't know anything about it. Look, he's Mexican. What do Mexicans do? Whatever you want to say. I don't care. Go do your own research and see what is happening in space with China and Russia. This is absolutely more control of our lives. So I want to say hi to Gary Bullard, and still you're here. This is absolutely more control of the world. Go ahead and research. This is a space war that is going on right now. This is why the Space Force group was made. And they are trying to control China and Russia don't control the internet. And it doesn't fall into an electronic warfare. That's why the United States made the Space Force, because they knew that at one particular point, and it sounds like a movie. It sounds ridiculous. I was reading it, I was like, you gotta be kidding me with this. You gotta be kidding me with this. This is crazy. This is crazy. And it's not. It is not. There's another war going on. And I will post that. I will post that article for you to see it. Remember, COVID, the greatest smokescreen that has ever been created in humanity. The greatest smokescreen that has ever been created in humanity. And we're not seeing all that is happening behind closed doors. And this is happening. If Donald Trump was not the president of the United States and Hillary was, my God, God forbid, Hillary would have been the president of the United States, I'm going to tell you something. We would not have all of these problems. No. Everything would be like, oh yeah, whatever you say, George Soros. Control of the internet worldwide. Whatever you say, George Soros. Whatever you say, China. Whatever you say, Russia. This is actually happening. I will suggest you Google it. I forgot to send the picture of the article that I have in this phone to my phone, so I can share it with you and read it. I did a YouTube show yesterday. Follow my page at YouTube as Oscar Blue. Yesterday night I did a YouTube show that I talked about this Space Force subject. If you guys want me to develop more on this Space Force article, I will give it to you. Don't worry about it. But it's just, you guys can research and do your own, you guys can do your own research and Google it. It is really happening. All of this is happening in election year. It is unfreaking amazing how Donald Trump is just something that it's stepping into their master plan. It is just, they need to pull it away. They need to move him. So all this demonic plan, it can take place. And it is the control of the world, the control of the population, the control of humanity. Transhumanism, another thing, to implement chips in the back of your brain that they're going to tell you, you know what, you're going to expand your knowledge. You're going to be more knowledgeable. You're going to be more intelligent. My God, your abilities. You're going to jump like Michael Jordan. Man, you're going to dunk like Shaquille. You're going to do like a lot of things. And everybody's like, I want that chip. No, dumbass. They're going to control you. That is actually happening. The taking over of artificial intelligence, AI. That is why more than 20 million people right now in the world, they depend on a check right now. They depend on the state. That is what communism, and that is what socialism, and that is what globalization, and that is what the new world order is doing. They want to control the population, and all of these jobs, all of these minority companies that they're getting burned in riots, that they're getting burned and they're getting loot in the United States and around the world. All these gigantic companies, big monsters of companies, they're going to build their humongous buildings and pile them up with AI. And humanity is going to depend on a check because they can't go out because of pandemics. Because we are going to be controlled by a system. I'm sorry, I'm crazy. A lot of people say, hey, this guy's crazy. This guy's nuts. I'm just calling it like it is. This is what is going to happen in the future. Agenda 2030. Read it, please. I'm not saying lies. Just read it. AI, artificial intelligence, is going to take over of humanity. They're going to push us to the side and give us a check. The stimulus check, that's what is happening. You know that? That is happening around the world, your stimulus check. If you get accustomed to it, stimulus check, stimulus check, stimulus check, you're not working anymore, right? So you're waiting on the stimulus check, right? It's kind of like a little taste to see your behavior. It's kind of like a little taste to see how you manage the money to behave and to survive. Stimulus check is not happening only in the United States, let me tell you that. Stimulus check is happening all around the world. So it's a taste of what is coming. God bless you all. Follow my page. Follow my channel at YouTube as Oscar Blue. Also, you can follow this page, as Oscar Blue right here on my public figure page. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this morning. I get some liberals, man. Over here, I get some liberals. I get some socialist guys that, they never lived in a socialist country. And these are all young kids, young United States citizen punk kids, activists. These young kids, American kids, that they think that they know everything about socialism and they don't know squat. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about socialism. You're going to talk about socialism, but you don't live in a country that is socialism, and you live on a capitalist people. Illogical, stupid, and illogical. Follow my page as Oscar Blue public figure page, and also follow my partner Conservative Anthony at his public figure page, and also at YouTube. God bless you all. Have a fantastic and beautiful day. Watch me later on at YouTube tonight. I will do a premiere of YouTube talking about two topics, really important topics. I will do one in Spanish and I will do one in English later on tonight. And in the afternoon at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I will do a video in Spanish talking about this same subject, but in Spanish for my people. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, peace and love, everybody, because always your country's first. Stay safe.